This is a film from Nikki Caro, another female director from New Zealand, who made a film called Whale Rider many years ago and is going on to direct the next, I think, Disney live action adaptation of an animated film. She's doing Mulan, whether it's next or Guy Ritchie's Aladdin or whatever one's next is next, I don't know, but she's working on that now. In the interim, she's made The Zookeeper's Wife, which is based on the true story of Jan and Antonia Zabinski, who worked in Warsaw Zoo during the Second World War. And during the Holocaust, they harboured 300 Jews from the Warsaw Ghetto in the zoo, either in the abandoned enclosures or the storerooms in the park. Jessica Chastain stars as Antonina, and the opening scene, the opening shot, in fact, we see her watching her son, her human son, sleeping with her non-human pet lion cubs from the zoo. So there's this idea that she is the ultimate nurturing presence in the movie. She loves her own child. She loves the children of a completely different species, and she's happy to see these creatures living together under her umbrella of care. There's also a sequence early in the film where she gives CPR to a baby elephant while wearing her evening dress, which is, establishes her as a very good sort. Her husband is played by a Flemish actor who I'm not familiar with at all, Johan Heldenberg. Jan carries out immense feats of bravery in this story as well, but the focus is very, very much on Chastain's character. Now, when the Nazis invade at the start of the Second World War, in sweeps Hitler's head zoologist, who's played by Daniel Bruhl, and it's his plan, with the zoo obviously no longer under normal operations, to convert it into a pig farm and transplant all of the prize stock back to Berlin so he can experiment with them in eugenics strange sort of ways. He wants to reverse engineer old prehistoric creatures that used to be roaming around Europe back in the Ice Age times. This was genuinely part of Hitler's plan for Europe, was he wanted to introduce these wild, crazy cattle called Orochsen that had gone out of, they'd been extinct in the 1600s, I think. And this is something that this character, Hitler's head zoologist, actually wanted to do. And so here's a clip of him pitching his plans to Antonina.
I see a way out of this, my friend. That's why I've come. You need to listen to me now. You need to trust me. Now, I could take your prize animals to Germany as a loan. We give them sanctuary. You can trust my word on this. And when the war is over, I can return them to you.
But what if the war comes to Germany?
A terrible thought, I know. And a personal nightmare for me, but I must tell you, the Allied forces are very weak. I expect this to be over very soon. I want to rescue the best of your breeds. And I can secure them a future no matter what might come. And we can do this together, Frau Zabinska. We can save your animals together. What do you think?
Yes. Of course, we must do it.
I'll bring trucks as soon as I can. Your animals will be fine. I give you my word.
So the formula we're dealing with here is Holocaust drama plus bonus lovable animals. And you can kind of see at face value, this seems like it's going to be moving twice over. And I should say the film, I did find it moving when I was watching it. I think it's powerful and it's very handsomely staged. Particularly at the start when the Nazis arrive, there's this preliminary bombing run carried out where the zoo is half destroyed. And you see the animals, some of them scattering through the streets of Warsaw, other ones meeting terrible fates. And I'm watching it thinking, this is really tough going. Why is this so difficult to watch? And it's because violence against animals on screen is actually pretty rare. I've seen countless people shot in the last few months of going to the cinema. I've not seen any elephants shot until I came to see this film. And, so that in itself is quite kind of tougher than I expected it to be. However, maybe you can see where this is going. I don't know. To take an event like the Holocaust and add this sentimental sidebar to it where you're having, these poor animals, look at what happens to that dreadful elephant. Oh, there's a tiger on the loose. However will it survive? You can't help but by doing that and by drawing this false equivalence between the two in narrative terms, you belittle the original event. And that's just, unless you're going to take very, very careful attention to how you portray the second half of the story, when they're rescuing the Jewish people from the ghetto, what's going on there? Are you giving these characters as fulsome characterizations as you gave to a camel in the first half of the film? If you don't, the film's priorities just seem fundamentally wrong-headed. I think another issue with this is that, as you heard in the clip, Jessica Chastain is doing this Polish accent. Now, she is ordinarily an incredibly committed, conscientious actress who is great at accents, and her technique is generally impeccable. For some reason, this accent kind of sits on top of her performance and it never really disappears into the character. And it always kind of adds this level of manneredness to what she's doing. I think this is a film that has its heart in the right place, but it comes out as being ethically scrambled.